Good afternoon, Standard 8 students. Now, the last class we found Amir was trying to avoid taking part in this tournament because he was afraid that if he fails, then he will disappoint his Baba, his father. So he was a bit nervous and he did not want to take part. When Hassan explained to him not to withdraw because it was a beautiful day and it is not a monster to frighten you. And Hassan wanted Amir to be an extrovert, a person who is active, who takes part in all activities and does not feel shy. But Amir's problem was he was not in a position or he did not understand whether his father appreciated his work or not. So he was scared in case he may fail, then his father may have a laugh. And he was trying his best that he should not disappoint his father. So this is how Hassan encourages Amir to take part. He says, I was the one who went to school. I was the one who went to school, the one who could read, write. I was the smart one. Hassan couldn't read a first grade textbook, but he read me plenty. Now, although Amir would go to school, he knows how to read and write. Hassan didn't go to school, or he didn't know how to read, but he read and told Amir a lot of stories. Okay. There was a little unsettling, but also sort of comfortable to have someone who always knew what you needed. Now, in our lives, we need a companion who would always be there for us. And Amir felt very nice or comfortable when Hassan would be around him. And Hassan would always support, encourage, and keep Amir happy. Okay, in all those ways, you would always be around Amir. No monster, I said, feeling a little better to my own surprise. He smiled, no monster. Are you sure? He closed his eyes and nodded. I looked to the kids scampering down the street, flinging snowballs. It is a beautiful day, isn't it? Let's fly, he said. Let's do it, I said. Now suddenly there was a change in their decision, in Amir's decision. So now it's time, let us start flying the kites. Hassan's face brightened, means expressed his happiness when Amir decided to take part in the competition. Good, he said. He lifted our kite, red with yellow border, and just beneath where the central and cross spars mean poles, met, marked with Saifo's unmistakable signature. He licked his finger and held it up, tested the wind, then ran in its direction. Now these are the courtesies, the thing that you have to perform while flying a kite. On those rare occasions, we flew kites in the summer. He'd kick up dust to see which way the wind blew it. The spool rolled in my hands until Hassan stopped. about 50 feet away. He held the kite high over his head, like an Olympic athlete showing his gold medal. I jerked the string twice, our usual signal, and Hassan tossed the kite. Now, in this, the assistant is required because he will take the kite and he will run with it for about 50 to 60 feet away from the person who is holding the spoon, and then he will toss the kite. So, the manner in which Hassan was taking the kite, the author has compared him to an Olympic athlete who runs holding his medal triumphantly or victoriously. Okay, so that is the way Hassan took the kite. It was quite admirable. I took a deep breath, exhaled, and pulled on the string. Within a minute, my kite was rocketing to the sky. It made a sound like a paper bird flapping its wings. Hassan clapped his hands, whistled, and ran back to me. I handed him the spoon, holding on to the string, and he spun it quickly to roll and loose string back on. At least 2 dozen kites already hung in the sky. 2 dozen means 24. 1 dozen is 12. Now let me again remind you, when anyone says a baker's dozen, so a baker's dozen is 13. Remember this. In your GK classes or any of the interviews, as you go further up, when you sit for some competitive examinations, they will ask such type of general knowledge. What is a baker's dozen? So the answer is 30. I handed him the pool, holding on to the string, and he spun it quickly to roll the loose string back on. So at least 2 dozen kites already hung in the sky, like paper sharks roaming for prey within an hour. The number doubled, and red, blue, and yellow kites glided and spun in the sky. A cold breeze wafted through my hair. The wind was perfect for kite flying, blowing just hard enough to give some lift. Made the sweeps easier. Next to me, Hassan held the spoon, his hands already bloodied by the string. That means he was getting cut while he was loosening. Soon the cutting started, and the first of the defeated kites whirled out of control. They fell from the sky like shooting stars, with brilliant, rippling tails, showering the neighborhoods below with prizes for the kite runners. I could hear the runners now hollering as they ran the street. Someone shouted reports of a kite breaking out the streets down. Now, as Amir's kite was up, okay, and the wind was just perfect for kite flying, and then there were a number of kites that were being flown, and the kite runners, their job is to chase after the kite that is cut, and whosoever catches the kite first, it belongs to them. So now the first kite had been cut. Now the kite runners were shouting and screaming down the road, chasing after the cut kite. Now this becomes very interesting when the shouting and screaming and howling and they just thronged the streets. I kept stealing glances at Baba sitting with Rahim Khan. Now, the main part of the story is this. I told you at the beginning, Amir was trying to impress, or maybe he was trying some kind of way in which he should not disappoint his Baba or his father. So every now and then while flying the kite, he was looking at his Baba. And he found his Baba smiling. Okay. Now he didn't understand that smile when his father or Baba looked at him. Amir always thought or felt whether my Baba is actually cheering me or is he smiling because he knows I'm going to fail. Now this is the kind of relationship father and son has got. The son feels that my father or my Baba has got no confidence in me. And now he is going to try his best to impress or to please his father. And according to the situation, now he was focusing more on his Baba and trying to read his mind, whether he's actually encouraging him or cheering him, whether he is happy that he has taken part in this tournament or he's just having a smile, knowing the fact that my son will not be successful. Then he was told not to concentrate on his Baba so much, but to keep his eye on the kites that are flying. Because now the number has increased, the competition has already started, kites have started to be cut. So now he has to concentrate in this kite fighting competition. Was he cheering for me, or did a part of him enjoy watching me fail? They were coming down all over the place now, the kites, and I was still flying, but my eyes kept wandering over to Baba. Bundled up in his wool sweater, was he surprised I had lasted as long as I had? You don't keep your eyes to the sky, you won't last much longer. I snapped my gaze back to the sky. A right kite was closing in on me. I'd caught it just on time. I tangled a bit with it, ended up besting him when he came impatient and tried to cut me from below. Now there is a technique or a tact whenever you have this kite fighting. There are certain ways how you have to defeat or cut another person's kite. So he had almost lost his kite when he took control and managed to cut that kite that would have cut his kite. And tomorrow you have your English test. Okay, I'll be sending the notice. So be ready, learn the given question answers and the word meanings. Okay, thank you.